Welcome to my YouTube channel. Kindly like, subscribe, comment, and share everywhere you can. So, today I want to talk about something that I know affects both women and men in a relationship and friends as well, and even family actually. And so, I want to talk about a certain friend of mine who was in a relationship for about 7 to 8 years. I'm not sure, 6, 7, or 8. So, they had a bad breakup and it has been so hard on the guy. He was so much invested and he invested a lot in that chick. So it is not wrong to invest in a woman, please don't get me wrong. It is not wrong to invest in your relationship because you never know what it leads to. So they had a bad breakup and the lady ended up taking quite a lot from him, especially his household belongings, because he used to work. He works far from where he stays, so the lady was like the one staying in the house. He was paying rent and everything, and furnished the apartment. It had completely everything. So when the guy realized that the lady was starting to do some things that were not really the kind of things that someone in a relationship would do, he decided to affirm his suspicions. So he surprised the lady and came to the premises without her knowledge and found out that she lied about where she was. She was not in the house. She had not been in the house for 2 nights, and he didn't know where she was. So they dated for 8 years, and he felt like this was the biggest betrayal of all time. And so we were talking about it last week, and he told me that they still talk to the brother, and he tells him that um, he was the best thing that ever happened to that lady. Now, I want you to understand one thing. Whatever you draw from that is ultimately upon you. So, what I drew from that is this guy still has a lot of baggage and he still has not dealt with the pain that he has after the breakup. So, apart from that, this guy doesn't want to completely cut off the ties he has with this lady, because talking to the brother is like getting updates, getting daily updates. You see, when you resign from a job and then there's that person on the inside that you constantly ask, and how is a certain guy doing, and how is a certain lady doing. It's just the same thing. It's just like when you don't want to move on from something, but you don't want to admit it, you see. And also that thing is that the fact that he still talks to the guy only shows that he still might have some feelings. He's not sure about totally moving on from this lady. And you see, you might get entangled with such a guy. I'm not saying that he should not move on, but even if it takes 7 months, 2 years, and you still have not dealt with the pain of a breakup, at some point it's going to get to you, and it's going to be a bad breakdown, because it will feel like it just happened recently. So the best thing to do for him would be to stay away from relationships or from any other women, because all he'll do is just hurt other women, because he'll feel like he's ready to move on, but he's not really ready to move on. And I think sometimes that even though most Africans, most Kenyans, and most people from our sides, that is Africa, think that going to a counselor is actually a weak thing to do, or it's actually something that is only done by rich kids and stuff. No, let me tell you, mental health is very important, because the decisions you make today might affect your future in a very big way. So if he decides to settle down with anyone with those kind of thoughts and with those kind of emotions, it will be a constant competition between what I used to date and what I have now, and it will always be a comparison, you see, because this person will always want you to either level up or surpass whatever that person had. Because you see, 8 years is not time that you can just throw away. These people might actually get back together at some point in life. It happens. It wouldn't be the first time. So when it comes to relationships, I think that If it was up to me, I wouldn't want my brother to be talking to my ex, because I don't see what they're talking about. Not unless he's the one who introduced me to the guy in the first place. But if I was the one who introduced the guy to him to the guy in the first place, unless they have business, I don't think there's anything else they need to talk about. Because if you break up with someone, break up with every other connection they made with you, to their family members, their friends, their businesses, everything. Because you know why? Every single thing that they do or they say, something has to remind you of me. Something they say, or the way they talk, or what they do, or maybe I call, something has to ultimately just remind you of me. And slowly by slowly, you start feeling like maybe you misjudged, especially if you were not the one who was at fault. You'll feel like probably I overreacted, but there's no reason why you would break up with someone because of something you felt they did to you that betrayed the trust you had in them, that would make you go back to them and convince yourself that you were wrong. If in the first place you felt like this is the right thing to do, that only means that you were right. It only means that you felt what was happening in the moment was not appropriate. And the fact that it's been 7, 10, or 1 year later doesn't mean that it changes, doesn't mean that the weight of whatever they did has to change. And I'm not saying that you should not forgive people, but there's an extent at which you forgive people and they get to adapt your forgiveness, that even when they do wrong things, they are sure that you'll just forgive them. And then when you get a chance to have a good woman after a bad breakup, take that woman. Make sure whatever you did for that person you broke up with, you do better. Because every single thing you do in a relationship contributes to the way this person reacts, okay? You might be good at providing and paying for the bills and taking care of them and sending them money, but there's something that you're lacking in that they will go and look for. Whether it's a woman or a man, if you don't look at all angles, you can't be perfect, yes, but if you don't look at all angles, then there's just an angle to which you won't be able to fill. And as long as there's a gap, there's always going to be there's always going to be someone who can fill that gap. Okay, they might not be able to take care of the same things, but they can fill that gap. Okay, and the worst feeling you could ever have is having someone who does not even match you, your efforts, your energy, and your hard work replace you just because of an emotion or words. There are people who require you to validate them every minute. And for women, it's an essential part of a relationship. You need to constantly tell me, I like your dress, I like your makeup, I like your eyes, I like your... Okay, I know there are days that they are busy and bad and crazy, but you don't even have to say it. You can just look at me in their eyes, you can look at me with, and I'll know he adores me. Okay? And then there's a way you just show someone you care about them. It's the small things it's the small things you do, and it's the words you say. And I think at some point men are not cautious of the words they speak, so it causes a lot of trouble with women. Because if all the time I tell you that you are heartless, it's because I believe your words are meant to hurt me. That is why I call you heartless. I might smile while I say that, but I mean it. Okay? Don't take things for granted. When someone tells you you are ignorant, take a point and know why. Why would you call me ignorant? It's not a fight, no. But you just want to know, what about me do you think is ignorant? Okay, if someone calls you a cheater, ask yourself why. Maybe she went through your phone. Maybe she saw you winking to someone. Maybe he saw you smiling at a guy somewhere in a petrol station, at the roadside, anywhere. And maybe your mind was just somewhere else, and then it happened that your eyes were looking in that direction, and then you just decided to smile, it's a coincidence. But if you don't explain these things, we keep on saying it's communication, but people don't really care about this. You have to listen, guys. Communication is everything. Basically, my point is, don't talk to your ex's family or friends or workmates or whatever, because you don't know what they have in mind. Maybe they're trying to trap you. Maybe they're trying to prove that it was true, or that it was a good thing that their friend or whoever it is broke up with you. You never know what's in the mind of human beings. I mean, we are just so wicked at times, so wicked. But I don't know. I think we should discuss this, okay? Please do that in the comment section. Make sure you tell me what you think. If you think I'm right, if you think I'm going against all rules, if you think I'm not, if you're on my side, tell me, guys. Bye and have a good one. I love you.